Who is the most difficult opponent you fought so far in your career?
Volkanovski.
You beat him 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. This has been universally called the toughest fight that you've had in your entire career.
No.
But I'm just trying to tell you.
Just watch fight with
I've watched the fight.
Volkanovski.
Alexander Volkanovski might just be the greatest featherweight to lace up gloves, a technical master who's beaten some of the finest fighters of his generation. For this video, we're going to take a deep dive into what some of Alex the Great's fellow fighters think of him, letting them explain exactly how talented he really is. How about kicking things off with a word from his two-time opponent, the lightweight living legend turned welterweight champion, Islam Makhachev.
This guy is so strong. He always try to push you, and his style, a little bit different, and how he move like fast, and how he's strong, and he improved a lot in the ground, how he defends. But it was good fight, and for sure it's big experience for me.
Although Makhachev did enough to get his hand raised in the wake of their first fight, there were quite a few people who believed that the rising featherweight king Volk should have won. After spending an entire trilogy in the cage with Volk, Max Holloway is in a much better position than most to comment on his mastery of the mixed martial arts skill set.
This guy's a rugby player, I played him 3 times, and this guy's head is always head first. Like, he's always like, I fought him 3 times, brother. And it's accidental, it's not hard, but he's like a rugby guy, so his head is always coming in, Like we always, me and him head-butted a couple times. It is like not big ones, not like career-changing ones, but it's just, his head is forward. He's a rugby guy. He's in that huddle shit, right?
Although their first fight was a confident win for Volk, their second was a technical chess match. A truly high-level showdown between a pair of extremely well-matched elites. By the time fight number 3 came around, Volkanovski had progressed to a completely different level, outclassing Max to prove that he was not only the best featherweight in the world, but that he was also a pound-for-pound great. Chael Sonnen can always be called on to give his take on the modern greats of the octagon, and he's very clearly a fan of Alex the Great.
Volk could have been double champion. He might have beaten Islam that first night. I am fully convinced that Volk would have beaten Islam that night if Volk would have relinquished the 45-pound title. I don't think that Volk was committed to 55. I don't know that he was big enough for 55. I remember when the decision came in not knowing. I wasn't bullish on it, and I was leaning in. Islam is going on. He's setting records. He's up at 170. He's kicking everyone's ass. We're saying Volk beat that guy. Volk might have beat that guy. Volk for sure won 2 rounds. Volk was so close. He was so close. Volk fights anybody. And he fights harder than anybody. And he finds a way.
Chael is yet another fight fan who wasn't totally convinced by the judges' scorecards in that first bout with Islam. Could Volk have stolen the decision with one other big moment in one of the middle rounds? Well, according to Chael, that huge knockdown at the end was the lasting memory in most people's minds when all was said and done. As for whether he's the 145-pound GOAT, we'll leave that up to you. Who do you think deserves the top spot? Is it Volkanovski or the dominant and long-serving Jose Aldo? Both guys were definitely ahead of their time. Volk still is, but only one can be the GOAT. The Eagle Khabib Nurmagomedov helped his friend and teammate Makhachev beat Volkanovski on 2 different occasions, and it's pretty fair to say that he holds the featherweight champion in high esteem.
Alex Volkanovski looking to also be the GOAT of his division and the lightweight division. Can I get your thoughts on Alex?
This guy impressed me a lot last couple fights, and I really believe he can defend his title this Saturday. I think Holloway is a great challenge. Last fight it was extremely close. It was very close, and it's nothing personal for Holloway. It's I love this guy. I love Max. He knows this, but my heart with him, but my mind with Alex Volkanovski.
He was so impressed by Volk that his own analytical mind would not let him pick Max Holloway to beat him, even though he is a self-confessed fan of Blessed. Khabib is not a guy who gives out praise without really meaning it, and the fact that he was so high on Volk says it all. Although the fans would likely love the idea of a showdown between Merab Dvalishvili and the featherweight king Volk, Merab doesn't seem to like the idea at all.
I mentioned a couple times I don't want to fight with Alexander Volkanovski because he's way stronger than me, and I don't want to. I don't want to take big risk, you know. Just I'm good. Even this weight cut is. I'm still. Oh, how do you say suck? I'm still. I'd rather keep myself, make this weight, and be. I'm comfortable here. You know. I'm good. I don't wanna. And then we can cook peaceful, and then we can just wish each other best. You know.
I appreciate that, mate. The respect is mutual anyway. So you're a legend. Can't wait to see you, and good luck this weekend.
You gotta give credit to Merab. Despite the fact that he was one of the most dominant fighters of this decade so far, he never tried to hide that he was not prepared for a move up to the featherweight division. And it makes sense. Dvalishvili is a pretty compact fighter who may struggle with the increased physicality up at 145. Volk is also a cardio machine with the type of takedown defense that served him well against the current welterweight champ Islam. So Merab obviously knew that he would have been pushing himself to the limits here. Doesn't mean we don't want to see him attempt a move up in weight though, to be honest. Another fighter who many fans would eventually expect to see up at 145 pounds is the former champion of the bantamweight division, Sean O'Malley.
I think after you defend your title, Volk defends his title, I think you go up and you challenge an aging Volk for the 145 pound.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't fight Volk. I'm just being very honest. It's a very, very, very difficult fight. Do I believe I could knock him out? 100%. I believe I could knock out anybody around 130, 145. 55, it would be a little tougher. I need to put on some lbs. But Volk's a very difficult fight. I'm not saying I will never fight him. I'm just saying that's not what I want next. I want to, maybe a year, 2 years. Volk, you're taking everything I work for. How will you?
I just don't know who's going to even with Volkanovski.
He's got to be the number one pound for pound 145er ever. Beat Aldo, beat fucking Max Holloway twice, beat Ortega. He's got to be the greatest now. He's got to be.
Most people would agree that O'Malley's frame would serve him quite well up at featherweight, even if he would probably need to pack on some extra pounds. Still, given how well his career is going outside of fighting, it does seem like he is not too concerned with hanging around the fight game past his physical prime. Michael Chandler is yet another lightweight veteran who is a pretty considerable fan of Alex Volkanovski.
He is the most complete fighter that we have on the roster in the UFC, the most complete fighter in the entire world. The ability to be at home and be 2 to 3 to 4 steps ahead of his opponents in every single position in a fight.
He has been around the block enough times to know a great fighter from a good one, and his opinion on Prime Volkanovski was spot on. The composure that the champ displays has always been one of his best tools. After opening the door to his fellow Australians, after becoming the nation's first UFC champion, Robert Whittaker always is sure to support those who have followed in his footsteps.
Everyone's kind of waiting for Volk to fall off, but it's just not happening. Volk's taking, he's getting better. He's really just backing up his experience. His body's holding out really well. His championship level experience and IQ is just making it known throughout the division. I just feel like he is still, the gap between him and everybody else is just too great for anybody to close just yet.
Though they are separated by several divisions, Whittaker and Volk are without question the two most popular fighters Australia has ever produced. No disrespect intended to the former champ of the welterweight division, Jack Della Maddalena. It's a fighting scene that, along with New Zealand, has been producing more and more top-tier talent as the years go, ensuring that the work that Bobby Knuckles has done in kicking open the door will not be for nothing. Who do you think will be the next UFC champion to come from that region? Let us know in the comments below. After sitting cage side for several of Volk's biggest moments, it's pretty safe to say that the former 2-weight world champion Daniel Cormier is a fan.
He was able to dominate the fight in a way that when I walked into the octagon to get the decision, there was no question that Volkanovski had won. It was just a matter of whether or not you thought he won 4 rounds or if he won 5 rounds.
Cormier obviously has some personal connection to the Volk story, given his longtime friendship with Team Khabib and Islam Makhachev. DC has been around the game long enough to know a generational talent when he sees one, and in his mind, Volkanovski is truly one of the best of the best. We're sure that DC had his work cut out watching tape on this legendary fighter for his own prep as a commentator. And when you consider that he has been on the desk for so many great Volk fights, he's in a good position to comment. But what's your opinion on the mighty Alexander Volkanovski? And what would you like to see him achieve in 2026? Let us know your thoughts, opinions, and hot takes in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in.